Okay, folks, we are diving into day 1 of Trig, and all we're going to do today is find missing sides of triangles using trigonometric ratios. We'll talk about those things in a second. But first off, what is Trig? Just the study of triangles. So earlier in the week, we learned 2 special right triangles, right? The 45, 45, 90, and a 30, 60, 90. Well, instead of having to memorize all the other possible triangles we can make with a right triangle, like, I don't know, like an angle of 189. So we're having to memorize all those sides. Someone really smart a long time ago thought of these ratios, so we can just type into our calculator. And then we don't have to do the math. Our calculator does it for us. Okay? So that's the purpose. Let's just see what these ratios are. There's 3 of them. We have the sine, cosine, and tangent. And what is a ratio? Just in general. 6 to 3. You're just comparing 2 numbers, right? So we're just going to compare 2 sides of a triangle in a special way depending on which one they want us to use. Okay? So let's just look down here. Do you guys see on your paper where it says sine of A, cosine of A, and tangent of A? Yeah. It's going to do all the work for you.
That scares me.
It's not.
I've never had to use it.
Today is our first day. This A is referring to what angle they want. So I'm first going to mark angle A. Will you do that with me? So mark angle A. That's your reference angle. And now my triangle has 3 sides. I have a hypotenuse, an opposite leg, and an adjacent leg. Let's start with the easy one. What's our hypotenuse in this triangle?
C.
It's always going to be across from that right angle. So you're just going to write hype or an H just so you know it's hypotenuse. Now your opposite leg is all the way across from your angle. So it doesn't touch your angle at all. It's on the totally opposite side of that triangle. That's your opposite. And then your adjacent leg is the one that touches it. Okay? So those are our 3 legs. And now we can write our ratios based on that info. So sine of A wants our opposite leg over the hypotenuse. So if I look here, what's our opposite leg? A. What's my hypotenuse?
C.
Done. But in your homework, you'll just have numbers instead of letters. So like 2 over 7 or something. You okay?
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay, cosine is your adjacent over hypotenuse. So what is the adjacent leg? B over C. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. So what's our opposite leg? What's our adjacent?
Over B.
Thank you. That's all we're doing today, is you're just going to be writing ratios like that. Yes. Nope, it's going to tell you right here. So if this would have been a C, you would have went from C. Or if it would have been a B, you would have went from B. So an easy way to remember what legs go with what ratio is we have this thing called SOHCAHTOA. If you remember this, great, but if not, it's not a big deal. But let's just break it down so you can remember it. So what do you suppose the S stands for in SOHCAHTOA? Sine. The O would be opposite. And your H would be, so now you know that the sine ratio is your opposite over hypotenuse. So, the C in ka would be your for cosine. A would be adjacent leg. And your H would be, yeah. So we know that our cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse.
What's that like word supposed to say?
Just SOHCAHTOA.
SOHCAHTOA.
Like I don't know.
SOHCAHTOA.
Alright. T for tangent. O for opposite, thank you. And then A for, alright. So if you commit that to memory, it might help you if you get stuck on a quiz or test, but again, I don't know. So let's try this. Okay? So do you guys see on the left column it says sine of A, cosine A, tangent of A? What do you suppose our reference angle is? A. Mark it. Put a little slash through it. So we know. That's always step 1. Step 2 is to label our sides. Start with the easy one. What's our hypotenuse?
13.
Beautiful. Opposite.
Wow. No. S. 5. That's 5, sorry.
All the way across, yep. Which makes 12 our adjacent. So all I did was mark our angle and we labeled our sides. That's step 1. Now it says write the trig ratio. So sine is what 2 legs?
B and C.
Opposite and hypotenuse, so 5 over 13. Can I reduce 5 over 13?
No.
Done. That's all it wants.
They don't want you to punch in like the sin button.
Nope, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, I bet.
Cosine is what 2 legs? Yep. So 12 over 13. And then tangent is what 2 legs?
5 over 12.
You guys are great.
So where's this stuff coming from?
Well, we're going to finish C first. We're going to do the same thing but from angle C, so you have to erase these because it's going to change a bit. So now if I mark angle C, what's opposite from C? 12, and what's your adjacent? Okay, now you take 2 minutes and write these, and I'll put the answers on the board in a second. Right, our trig ratios from angle C. So you guys got?
Yes.
Anyone confused? Okay. Now let's actually try to find sides of our triangle. So it says solve for x round to the nearest 10th. Step 1, mark your reference angle. So you're never going to go from your right angle, so what's my only other option here? So now mark it. Put a little mark through it. So you don't know anything about that angle right now. Well, you could figure it out, but let's use the one they give us. It's easier. One less step. So now we have to label the sides that we know something about. So what's x with respect to this angle? Opposite. So you're going to put op. And then what's 19? Okay. Do you guys see how there's nothing on this bottom side? So don't even label it. Just leave it blank. So now from here, what trig function uses opposite and hypotenuse? Sine, right? So we're going to write sine of our angle. What's our angle? 28 is equal to, now we write the ratio. So I'm going to write opposite over hypotenuse, so x over 19. If I want to get x alone, how do I undo divide by 19? Yeah. And I know this looks scary because there's a word in part of your equation, but it's not bad. Because now all you're going to do is type this into your calculator. 19 times the sine of 28 If you don't get 8.9, wave me over because your calculator might be in a weird mode. You did not get it?
I got it. I saw how this works up here.
No, it won't work. You retype it.
Got it.
Okay, we were wondering.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm gonna find the number on the board tomorrow.
I think
Or email me. You get Marge?
Hey.
Hey, Nikki, we're just talking about working on yours. So on yours, it's in 28. Sign.
That she don't want.
Does that make sense?
I've been
You guys get it?
No.
I got it.
I got it, but only 28.
Yeah, you're doing yours backwards. You guys get it?
I didn't get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I have a calculator? I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it? Perfect. Let's try another one. Okay, what was our step 1, folks? Mark our angle. Then what do we do? Label the sides. So what's X?
Offset.
Good job. What's 8?
Adjacent.
Sweet.
Because it's
Because tan uses the opposite and adjacent. Good work. I'll work with you in your homework.
So it's tan 8 equals.
Nope, tan of your angle, which is 55,
Which
equals what?
X over 8.
X
X over 8.
Over 8.
Times 8. 8 and 55 equals.
Okay, type that one in. Tell me what you get.
11.4.
I got 11.4. If you don't get 11.4, wave me over.
Oh, I did sin. Huh?
Say?
I did.
Did you 11.4?
No, I got 6.5. No, actually, no. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Did you use hand?
Oh, yeah, 11.4.
Get it? You guys get it? Thank you. You guys good? Okay, our next one's just a little different. I should put the answer. What was it? Okay. Okay, one more time through. What's step 1? Then what? Opposite and hypotenuse. Good job. Okay, what trig function uses op and height? Okay. Sine of 27 equals. Okay, so now let's look. What's different here? Okay, don't freak out. How do I undo divide by x? Times by x. So these will just go away for now. So now I have x times the sine of 27 equals 5. Well, if I want x alone over there, how do I undo multiply by sine? Yep.
What do you want?
27. So now in your calculator you type 5 divided by sine of 27. Yours you might have to do, maybe I type in 27 sine. And then just write down the decimal and then take 5.
What?
You're just I think we should have
No.
You guys get 11.
Right.
Oh, you divided by 7 is x by x.
Try to divide it. You can't.
Right, how do you know?
You guys get 11?
Yeah.
11? Yep. 11 girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
And then I forgot my point.
Yeah, it's fine. Alright, and then we're just going to incorporate what we've already known with trig. It says use special right triangles to find the trig ratios. So, what special right triangle from earlier in the week has a 30-degree angle? Will you just give yourself a little sketch? Now my question to you is, what's your smallest whole number your short side could be? What's the smallest whole number? So it's a whole number.
1.
Yeah. That your short side could be.
2.
1, right? That's the smallest whole number that there is? Look, that's not negative.
Yeah.
Okay. So if my short side's 1, what's my hypotenuse?
2.
2. What's my long side? Square root of 3? Or 1 times the square root of 3? Now it says sine of 30, so I'm going to mark 30. What legs is sine? Opposite. Hypotenuse. So if I write that as a ratio, what is it?
1 to 2.
That's our answer.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, these are weird. These are kind of hard. Let's try.
And the reason why you do the smallest whole number is because it's easiest.
Well, if you, let's say you picked 10, 20, and 10 root 3, you would just have to reduce. But this way we don't have to reduce. It's easy.
How do you do the 45?
Let's do it.
Oh,
Start off with your 45, 45, 90 triangle. What's the smallest your leg can be? 1, 1, what? Yep, root 2. So if I want cosine of 45, what legs are those? So I'm going to have 1 over root 2. Do I like that answer though? No, so we have to fix it. Deleted triangles. We would have no buildings. We would have no bridges. We would have not a lot of things. If I simplify this, what do I get, folks? Root 2 over 2. I'm going to wait a minute before I do the next one. You guys try it on your own before I give you the answer. You can use the same triangle from over there, but now you're doing tangent of 60. Are you close?
I'm not even. Yes.
No?
What if you pick 30?
Well, I want 60 though. So opposite over adjacent would be root 3 over 1.
Not 3 over.
Why is it not what?
Root 3 over 2.
Because tangent is
Oh, it's
opposite.
bad. I didn't even see that.
Yep. So just be careful on your homework so you check to see what ratio it wants. You got it. Just practicing today. Okay?
Good job, sister.